Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's Ceri the Crafter, and I'm here with another postcard make. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this. I've set a challenge for everyone in July 2024 to make a postcard a day for every day of July, which is 31 postcards in 31 days. All of the details and the finer details are in the description box below. Just click on the link to the launch video and everything's there. And if you don't want to watch the whole video, look in the description box of the launch video and then you'll see all the details about it. So I wanted to play today. Now, in this postcard, you may remember in the prep video, I did this feather that I did on the gel plate, and I said it reminded me of a quill. Well, you know how my imagination goes. I like to tell a story about stuff. So I've taken this 6x4 postcard and I found this bit of handwritten print, and I thought, right, that's going to be the basis for the idea, and I've got a story to go with it because goodness knows I always have a story to go with it. Right, let's bring that in because I'm going to need that, and I'm going to need a brush as well. Now, it's very, very white, or cream anyway. That's okay with me because all of my postcards so far have not been that sort of color. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take this piece and add it along the bottom. So I'm just going to tear it. Now, by the feel of this, I would say this is wet strength tissue. It was in my scraps box, so I can't guarantee whether it is or is not, but it definitely feels like wet strength tissue. And I just want that across there. So I'm going to come in with matte medium. This is a matte medium I'm using. And I probably put far too much out there, but I'd rather have more than less. Just putting a bottom on the card because the piece of printed paper, which came from a typewriter lesson or typewriter course, should I say it, where they were supposed to type this up. It wasn't big enough to fit a six-inch card, and I'm okay with that. So a little bit below the bottom edge because I fully intend trimming that bit off afterwards along with all of the stuff around the side of it. Right, well, that's thinking about itself. I have this. Now, this word pen is huge, but actually it plays in my favour to what I want it to be. Now, this word came off a bit of packaging from a local store that I buy my art and supplies and stationery from. Just going to edge this a little bit. And it's called Pen and Paper. And you might have seen me use their packaging before. So this is just a printed brown paper bag. And I love using this. And I did think, oh, is this too big for this postcard? But actually, no, I think for the theme I'm putting into this, it just played to my strengths. I thought, no, you know, I'm going to stay with this. I will be inking around the edges, though. But I'll do that at the end, right? Let's bring in a bit of this because I don't want things to get messy. Let's not lose my feather. So this postcard is going to be all about this lady. And I thought, you know what? Who would be the best person to be writing with a quill? And I think it's a romance novel writer. So whoever this lady is, and I haven't given her a name yet. Well, I don't know that I'm going to give her a name. I might or I might not. She writes romance novels for a living. And because she likes to be part of the romance scene, she writes them with a quill. And I thought, you know me, I could be a little bit weird on the edges sometimes, but to me, it intrigued me. I liked that thought, and it just gave me a reason and a starting point or a jump off point for this postcard. Right, I'm putting matte gel medium over the top because why not? It's there. Work out any bubbles. Are those bubbles in the paper? Maybe I didn't come over far enough. There you go. Right, don't mind it wrinkles up a little bit. It's paper. I'm not worried. That actually fits in with the whole theme of the whole postcard, that at the end of the day, it is just paper. Right, let's put that to one side because I want that cleaned up before I stick anything else in it. Now, Let's see, what was I put it in the matte medium myself. Now I'd quite like to dry that now. So that's almost dry. I'm just going to let it sit in the sun because the sun is out on my desk, but thank goodness it's up there and you can't see it. Now I wanted to put a signature onto this card. So I have this stamp set. I'm not even sure I've ever used it, to be honest. I think I saw someone else use it and I went, ooh, I love that. And this name here, Mary Forsyth, however you pronounce it. I went, you know what, that's the name of this person. So let's just take it off here. Yes, I haven't used this stamp before. I can tell it's way stuck down. So I'm not going to put it back in its plastic totally, I don't think, unless I can slide it in there quickly. I'm really bad at these things, as you can see. You know, I'll just deal with that later because it's going to do my head in otherwise. Right, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to stamp this now. I wanted this grungy area here to cover up the white. However, I need something there that the signature could be on. Now I have this box of ends or edges of papers and pieces that I've torn over time. And I thought I'd like to find something that's sort of a similar colour to this, maybe, if I can find something that appeals to me. Oh, but that's where I put the calculator paper. You know, when you put something down and it ends up somewhere you weren't expecting. You watch, I'll put it back in here after this and I still won't know where it is. I'm just trying to find a bit. I'm not sure that I'd quite like this, actually. I think I kind of do. Let's just stay with that. So where's a bit of an ink blot? Right, put that down on there. Now, why am I not stamping directly on there? Because I want to stamp in black and I want it to be visible. If I stamp that on there, it's not going to be visible unless I put it onto something. And I quite like this edge of this, so I'm going to try and put it up higher. So I'm going to come in, I'm using archival. Now, I've not used this stamp before, so let's keep our fingers crossed that it gives me a reasonable stamp. I'm being relatively heavy-handed with my ink because I want a nice crisp stamp of this. Now let's try. Well, I could have checked whether it fitted first, couldn't I? That will do. Right, hold that down because give it a few seconds for the ink to absorb into the paper is what I'm thinking. Okay, I can live with that. Yeah, it's very, very close. I'm quite happy that I did stamp that off. And that can go over to be sorted later. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not bothered. I need to take the edges off, however. I knew you were going to do that. It's because I'm on the slippery surface. Note to self, don't do it on a slippery surface and hold the ruler down properly, Griffiths. Right, now I am conscious that that's ever so slightly not straight. But I reckon if I put it on there, it's going to make neither hide nor hair of a difference. So this can go back into the box for future stamping. Let's just get some of this on here. Now, because I've used an archival ink, it shouldn't move when I stick it down. So let's just pray for me on that one, shall we? Now, I don't mind that things are straight edged, and I don't mind that they're torn edged, because I think all of those will play into the theme that I'm working with. Because in my mind, pages, when you write them, are very straight. So that's where I'm going with this. Anyway, let me marry that for a bit, shall we? Right, I do need a little more matte medium. Are you in shot? Barely in shot. That needs to go. There you go. Just put it back where I couldn't find it before. Now, I did go through, I had a little bit of an idea, and I had a ledger, and I went through and found these in a ledger, and I thought, you know what, those are really appealing. So I think we're going to do the July 23, because that's when this card's going to do. Now, I did say in the rules it had to be a number to represent the date, but what's better than actually having the date? So let's get my feather involved now. Now I want it so that the feather is on the page. At an angle, because that feels like it's the right thing to do. I'm just going to come in now. Remember, this is wet strength tissue. You saw me create this feather when I was actually doing the prep videos. As it's wet strength tissue, it should, and we say should, the edges should disappear into the background. I just have to be a little cautious, because if I get a bit heavy-handed with this, it's going to break apart like it did just there. But I'm okay, because the rest of it is all right. I think I just got a bit overly enthusiastic, but that gives me an idea of where to put the date anyway, which could fit right across there. I need to put an edge on this date though, don't I? So next in line needs to be herself. And that's who we're, oh, actually, she could go there and it wouldn't be a problem at all, would it? Let's let that dry. Actually, do I need to dry it? Maybe I need to dry it. So here I'm back again. That's dry. Now I'm a little unsure where I want to put this. I am thinking if I put this here, however, that would be a good place. I'm not going to ink around the edge of this because I don't think I actually need to. I quite like the fact it's got a white border to it, and I did specifically cut it leaving a white border. This image, by the way, is from a Tim Holtz, I don't even know what it's called. I think it might be called Photo Booth or something like that. If I put you over there, madam. So this is a little bit like an ID card, really, isn't it? Now, I don't mind that you don't see the whole of the N in the word pen. I think everyone will realise that word says pen. Right, now where do I want this? Is it too big is the question. I don't need the word date on it really, do I? Excuse my arm. Let's take the date off there. And then re-ink that edge. Also, it doesn't need to be horizontal. It could be vertical. I just need to find out where I'd like it to be. Just look a bit light as well. Let's give this a little bit of an ink over the top. Knock that paleness down a bit. I'm thinking it needs to be here, to be honest, but I'm like, is that far too predictable? It's just almost the same width as the photo, isn't it? Bit of an idea. Let's get this stuck down. I don't really want to put matte medium over the top of the photo because I quite like the idea of it having a little bit of a sheen to it. Right, that's almost done. And I say almost because I'm not 100% certain. I think I want to dry this. I think this edge here is slightly bothering me, and that's an easy fix. If you get a bit of the vintage photo, and just rub it over the top. Would help if I had some on the pad. I've put a different pad on here because the other one was falling to bits. There you go. That's darkened that up a bit, and I quite like that. I wish this wasn't as almost green. Right, I said I wanted to go around the edges anyway, so let's just do that now. And of course, it's going to show up really well because it's a light background. And that might make things just all meld together a bit more. I really don't mind that this is quite light in the middle, because it does feel very vintage and almost author to me. But then maybe I'm reading into it more than you are, because that's what's in my mind. So first things first, let's get some lines on here. I really do think things like this will work better if they've got a line around them. Okay. I also want this to have a line, or do I? I don't know now, I'm undecided. Right, I'm going to put my signature in the corner, just because that might make a difference, which it kind of does. I think we're going to do something up here, but just really simple, none of my fake stitching. This edge bothers me. I think that's enough for that. I think we're done. There's that little bit in the middle. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap with my pen. This is actually just a Unipen fine liner. I don't think I want anything else on here. I don't want that line to have a white gap in it, however. I think we're done. I mean, I could come in and make it far more complex, but sometimes why bother? Says he, making it more complex. I just felt it needed a little something up there. I think I'm going to call that done, guys. That's July number 23. Got my signature. It's all about her. She's a romance novelist. Because she's romantic, she writes with a quill, and this is her handwriting. That's her name. The pen points to her signature. That's the date. Pen is her penmanship. Okay, that was a different exercise. At least I got to use this pen here. So happy about that. Okay, guys, I think the next time you'll see me is in the next video. So I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Goodbye now.